Okay, hi. Um, Apologies for not posting. I just came back from California for nationals. Yeah, that kind of took up a lot of my time, but I am out of season now for like a month and will be able to post decently amounts. I'm sorry if you can see my messy bedroom in the background. I'm gonna try and keep that out. But anyways, I was watching videos on YouTube and I kind of came across like a lot of story times and I was thinking like, cause, sorry, I have a weird bump on my face. I was thinking of like, what kind of stories do I have that I could tell? Cause that would be like an actual okay video idea that I could like do and have it be like interesting. So I found one and it's gonna be very like faint memory, but I definitely remember the day like perfectly because it was really terrifying. Um, yeah, so basically, I think I was in fourth grade, but I am really not sure. But for now, we're just gonna say I was in fourth grade. And fourth or fifth? I'm just gonna stick with summer of fourth, in between fourth and fifth grade, but I'm not sure. I could be completely wrong. I have no clue. But I was with my best friend at the time, not gonna bring up her name just for specific reasons, but we don't talk anymore. Anyway, we were best friends at the time, and where I used to live, we lived, I lived right by like a park, and you could walk there like minute walk, 2 minute walk, minute half, something like that. But it was right there. And that's what I'm trying to get at. There was a park literally right next to my house. So I'm pretty sure it was the last day of school. And after school, we were going to the park, and I am not sure what we went there to do, but I know we did go to the park. I'm really not sure what we were doing there. I really don't know. I couldn't tell you. But I know that we were walking out of the park, and there were 2 ways you could walk out, 3 ways you could walk, 4 ways you could walk out of this park. So there was a back way that I never took, and then there was like basically like an entrance like from the side, and then two like kind of like front entrances that went either way. But our entrances, you could go in from the two like either one. But like the one that was on one side was way closer to my house, but we were going through the other. They were kind of basically like equal amounts, but we were going through one that kind of had more of like a ditch area where people kind of parked their cars, because then the other was you couldn't really do that because it was like houses. So yeah. Anyways, we were going through that side, and some random guy was like, like first day of summer for you guys, like whatever, and we were like, yeah, and he was like, woohoo, like whatever, excited, and it was like, okay, cool, like excited. And we started walking, he's like, hey, do you guys want to walk my dogs for me? And we were like, no thanks. And keep in mind, this is like an older aged man, and we were like young girls, okay? And we were like, no thanks, haha. Like, we thought he was like joking around, didn't think anything of it. We're kind of like, haha. He was like, he was creepy looking. He was wearing like a beanie, and like, I don't even know. He was just really creepy. And we just didn't think anything of it. Kind of was like, haha, it's like a joke. He's just like kidding around, whatever. So, later that night, my parents and my older brother at the time, he was at work, and my parents went out to dinner or a movie or something. They were out of the house alone. So basically, this man was out at the park all day. He was sitting there all day. He hadn't left. We didn't really think anything of it. We like walked to the gas station, walked home, and all the cars pull out of the driveway. So there's absolutely no one home. But, so, I'm just gonna, okay. So it was me, my friend, and then my little brother. all home alone by ourselves completely. Now, my older brother's room, when he lived with us in the old house that we were in, his window, we always hung out in that room because my brother, they kind of like, that's where the Xbox was, and that was kind of like what we would do to like distract time, kind of, you know? And, sorry, I just got a text. Basically the window was open, the curtains were open, the lights were on, so if anyone really wanted to try and see if someone was home, they would know that it was the kids that were home and there were no cars. And normally, I don't even know, normally there's a car in the garage, but like this person like watched everyone leave one by one from my house except for the children. So we get like, we're all home alone playing a game, whatever, and then we hear like the doorbell. And so I went downstairs, and obviously you always get the thing from your parents, like, don't open the door when we're gone, like, check to see who it is. If it's someone you know, then fine, like, whatever. So doorbell rang, and I like ran down the stairs, and I looked through I wasn't tall enough to look through the little peephole in the door, so I like kind of like opened the blinds a little bit, and I saw like a guy holding that thing, what's it called? A beanie. He was holding the beanie from the guy that I saw earlier in the day. It was the same guy. And so I like shut the blinds, and I was like, okay, like I didn't say anything. I like, the door was locked already, so I ran upstairs, and I was like, okay, we're gonna turn the lights off up here. We're not gonna make any noise. Like the random guy from the park earlier today is at our front door. And so we like turned all the lights upstairs off, and we like sat in my brother's room for like a solid, like, a while, until like nothing had happened for like 10 or more-ish minutes. And so we were fine, we were okay. And then we kind of got like knocking on the door, and I was like, okay, well, we're not gonna go down there, like, it's fine, like, we're okay. And I didn't go down, and there was no one even at my front door. Like, we all went together and looked, and there was no one at my front door. So we decided that we were gonna go into my living room and sit in there, and then we started, like, 5 minutes later or less, we got like straight like pounding on the door, and this guy had kept coming back, and he was pounding on the door, and we walked over, and he was like screaming, he was like, let me in right now. He was like pounding. When I say pounding, I don't mean it was a knock, I mean he was banging on my door. And so at this point we were freaking out, and I was trying to calm down my little brother because he was flipping over here because the friend that I had was mellow, like kind of like dramatic. We were all dramatic about it. We were little, we kind of like make things seem like worse than they need to be, but this was a situation where it was like, crap. I have to calm down my little brother because I'm like the older sister in the situation, and my parents aren't home. So basically, I think my parents were in a movie because I remember trying to call them, and neither of them answered. So I think one of them answered, and they were like, it's no big deal, like, we called a friend earlier, he's probably just coming over to drop something off. And I was trying to tell him, I was like, no, this is a guy we saw earlier today. And they didn't believe me. So my friend's dad, who was a cop, we called him and like tried to get him. We were like, can you please come over here? We're like really scared. And then again, these parents are like, oh, these are kids, they're probably just freaking out, like, it's nothing big. And he like told her, like, go find like pepper spray or something. And like, they literally would not come to the house for any of us. And so I called my older brother, and my older brother was like, okay, like, I'm on my way home, I'll figure this out when I get there, like, it's fine. And my friend was coming home from swim, a different friend, she was coming home from swim, and I don't know how she found out about this. I don't know if I said something to her, I don't know if I posted something about it, but she was like, do you want me to go drive through your neighborhood and like see if there's like someone in there? And we were like, yes, please. So she drove through, and I was like on the phone with her, and she goes, "Oh my gosh." I was like, "What?" Because this is the point where the guy like had gone and like parked and was just watching in at our window at this point. She goes, "Is he like middle-aged? Is he a guy?" And she was like explaining him. She's like, "He has a beanie." He like explaining him exactly the spitting image. And we're like, "Yes, that's him." Like, "Oh my gosh." And they were like passing, so I think he started to realize that like there were someone there to like kind of, like help. So he drove like off, and he parked on the other side of the entranceway of the park. So it was kind of like around and then in like this cul-de-sac, and he parked there. And my brother came home, and then that's when we noticed that he was parked again. He like drove past, and he was parked again right by our other mailboxes and was just staring in our window. And so my older brother, he came inside. We like explained everything to him. We like pointed the guy out. This is not how you should handle a situation like this. But my brother, he called the cops first, and then he grabbed like a knife or something and went outside, and he held it up in the air and just started screaming. Like, it wasn't like threatening, but it was kind of just like he kind of like cussed him out, like blah blah blah, like how like I don't even know what he said because we were too terrified. My brother told me not to step out of the house. So yeah, basically he drove off, and cops came, and they drove around my neighborhood, and I don't know if they couldn't find him ever or if they did find him ever, because we kind of just, the kids were not involved in that situation. So if they had, it was with the parents' conversation, and it didn't get back to the kids. So yeah, there's my story. I don't know what his intention was. I don't know if he just wanted to break in. I don't know if he was trying to get to me and the younger girls in the house. I really do not know what his intention was, but yeah, it was really scary, and to this day, I remember it in pretty like vivid detail because of like how freaking scarring it was. But that's my little story, and yeah, just let me know if you guys want more like story times kind of like these, because I do have a lot with the neighborhood that I lived in. But yeah, anyways,